President Muhammad Buhari attends 77 United Nations General Assembly. NDLEA arrest ex-convict, intercept 18 guns. Zamfara State Governor urges his colleagues to checkmate the excesses of Amotekun operatives. On business, Nigeria Employees Consultative Association raises alarm over businesses' total collapse. Another international scene, security scare hits morning as King Charles meets foreign leaders. And in sports, Rivers and Plateau United advance to next round. Hello, welcome to Standard Voice News Channel. I'm Foze Ibrahim. President Muhammad Buhari has departed Abuja Sunday, September 18th for New York, United States to attend the annual meeting of world leaders, the United Nations General Assembly. The theme of the 77th season, which opened on Tuesday, September 13th, is a watershed moment, transformative solution to interlocking challenges. Key topics of discussion at the UN General Assembly of this year include the war in Ukraine, the energy crisis, climate action, ending the COVID-19 pandemic, and a special Transforming Education Summit. Our correspondent Sumaya Dosara reports.
President Buhari will take his turn to deliver the national statement on the second day of the general debate on Wednesday, September 21st. Aside his statement, the president will also participate in high-level meetings and side events including the Nigerian International Economic Partnership Forum, convened by Nigeria in partnership with the Business Council for International Understanding, strengthening coordination through National Humanitarian Development Peace Framework. A practical approach to sustain durable solutions to ensure no one is left behind, organized by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, and the EFCC NEPAD program on combating illicit financial flows. President Buhari will also hold strategic bilateral meetings with world leaders, renowned investors, and heads of multinational organizations while in New York. The president is expected back in the country on Monday, September 26th. Sumaya Dosa reporting for SBTV News.
The Vice President, Professor Osimbajo, has arrived in London ahead of the state funeral of the late Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom. Professor Osimbajo, who departed Abuja on Saturday, would be representing Nigeria at the number of events while in UK, including the funeral service. Upon his arrival in London on Sunday, according to his media aide, Laulo Akinde, the Vice President paid respect to the Queen's lying in state at Westminster. He also signed the condolence register saying Nigeria joined government, people of UK, Commonwealth and rest of the world in expressing their sincere condolence to the royal family on the passing of the monarch of all season. At the meeting, cleverly expressed gratitude for Nigeria's solidarity with the UK at a time of grief, and both men discussed the interests of the British Prime Minister Liz Truss in deepening the relationship with Nigeria. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has arrested an ex-convict, Onyeka Charles Madu Kulo, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. NDLEA spokesman Femi Babafemi discloses in a statement on Sunday, saying the 44-year-old man was nabbed for importing 5.90 kilograms of cocaine concealed in can of deodorant and ladies' lip gloss into Nigeria. Onyeka, who was sentenced to 7 years imprisonment in Ethiopia for drug trafficking offenses and released from prison in 2020, was again arrested on Friday, 16 September 2022 at the Lagos airport on his return from Sao Paulo, Brazil via Addis Ababa on an Ethiopian airline flight. In a related development, the agency's operatives on patrol along Okene-Abuja Expressway intercepted a J5 vehicle in Kogi State on Saturday, September 17th. The vehicle, which was coming from Onitsha Road, Kaduna, Zaria, was intercepted with 18 pieces of pump-action rifles and 1,300 cartridges, while two suspects conveying the arms and ammunition, Chukodi Aruno, 51, and Shaebu Gambo, 23, were arrested. Worried by the rampant cases of attack on northern youth by the Amotekun operatives, in the southwestern state, the governor of Zamfara State, Dr. Bello Matawale, has urged his colleagues in the southwestern Nigeria to checkmate the excesses of the Amotekun operatives and deal decisively with the operatives violating the code of conduct of the security network. The governor, who was baffled by the action of the operatives who intercepted truck conveying northern youth, flogged them thoroughly in Ondo on September 16, 2022, expressed concern over possible backlash from the northern part of the country. He said the unlawful detention, molestation and torture of the young Nigerians who are mostly on business mission with their counterparts in the southwest region is uncalled for, as it may result into crisis between the two regions. The governor added that Nigerians should avoid any religious conflict to allow peace and tranquility to reign to foster economic and political development in the country. He therefore demanded his colleagues in the region to checkmate the excesses of the operatives for peace and unity of the country. Police authorities in Zamfara State have arrested a notorious bandit and an informant in its effort to fight criminal elements in the northwestern state. The command also arrested a fake military officer and two suspected criminals who supplied arms, ammunition, foodstuff, motorcycles and military uniforms to bandits in the forest. The spokesperson of the command, SP Muhammad Shehu, disclosed this while parading the suspect on Saturday at the police headquarters in Gusau. Our correspondent, Zainab Abdul-Wasir, has more.
SP Shehu said they were arrested by the police tactical operative during intelligence-led operation conducted in some criminal hideouts in Gusau and Safi local government areas, respectively. According to SP Shehu, exhibits like a locally fabricated revolver gun, military camouflage uniform, fake military ID card, and other dangerous weapons were recovered from the fake soldiers identified as Zainu Lawal. Similarly, police operatives also arrested a notorious six-man syndicate of informants who collaborate with bandits to terrorize people of Gusau, Karanamoda, Safi and Bongodu local governments and environs.
The arrest of 5-man syndicate of informants to armed bandits who specializes in giving information to bandits and also supply of arms and ammunition, military camouflage, among others.
The police also nabbed a notorious bandit, Umar Namaro, who has been terrorizing residents of Mada and Koturkoshi communities with different forms of attacks, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and other crimes. Zainab Abdul-Wasir reporting for Standard Voice Television.
The management of the Zamfara State School of Nursing and Midwifery, Gusau, has approved the sales for admission form for the 2022/2023 academic session. The form is out for 5,500 naira and the closing date is Friday, 23rd September 2022. No fewer than 29 more people have lost their lives to flood-related incident in Jigawa State as water continued to submerge communities in various parts of the state. Police authorities in the northwestern state said the 21 new deaths brings to 92 death toll from such circumstances. Salisu Shishu, the public relations officer of the police command in Jigawa, confirmed the figures to newsmen. According to him, the death toll covered mostly as a result of drowning, canoe mishaps, thunderstorms and building collapses. Flood have continued to work havoc in Jigawa as more communities and farmlands are submerged by many parts of the state. At least 83 people, including children and women, have lost their lives to flood-related incident in the state since the beginning of August to date. The flood also took a toll in infrastructure in the state as some roads were cut off as a result of erosion, forcing locals to seek alternative routes to their destinations. The situation has now left hundreds of residents displaced, with many taking temporary shelter in public buildings. And in business,
Audio Jungle.
the Nigerian Employees Consultative Association has hinted that most businesses in Nigeria are now on the brink of collapse under the pressure from the economic policy environment. In a statement in Abuja, NECA lamented that, at least at the last count, organized businesses are presently faced with over 50 different taxes, levies and fees at the trials of government, some of which are duplicated. The umbrella body of employers and the voice of businesses in the country equally cautioned the federal government against further borrowing, contending that the nation is faced with acute and self-inflicted revenue challenges and a rising debt profile among many other economic headwinds. They noted with dismay that even with the nation's current level of indebtedness, the government is still poised to borrow over 11 trillion naira to finance the 2023 national budget. NACA Director General Mr. Adewale Smart Ayirind stated that while debt and paucity of revenue are challenges that are acknowledged, organized businesses should not be made to suffer the lack of proper economic and political will that have pervaded successive administrations. He said the action will not reduce the competitiveness of the industries, but will also increase the cost of doing businesses and further reduce the potential sustainability. And on the international scene, King Charles III was due Saturday to meet leaders from his new Commonwealth realms ahead of his mother's honoured funeral after a security scare intercepted her Samba line in state. Princes William and Harry were later said to lead a vigil of Queen Elizabeth II's 8 grandchildren at her coffin, joining tens of thousands of members of the public who have been queuing round the clock for days. Those inside Parliament Westminster Hall for the laying in state received a shock late on Friday when a man burst out of line and approached the coffin, which sits topped with the imperial state's crown. A live television feed of the mourners briefly cut away as police detained the man 2 hours after Charles and his 3 siblings had held their own vigil at the Cavernous Hall. The London Ambulance Service said some 435 people have needed medical treatment, often for head injuries after fainting in the queue. And on sports, over to Omukoso Mohammed.
Thank you, Fozia Ibrahim, and now in sports. Nigeria Professional Football League champions Rivers United are through to the next round of the CAF Champions, despite going down to a 1-0 defeat against Liberia's Watanga FC on Sunday night. Farcedo Lugan scored the only goal of the game from the spot on 16 minutes. Rivers United qualified 3-1 on aggregate. Stanley Eguma's side will face Wydad Casablanca of Morocco in the first round. The country's other representative in the competition, Plateau United, also skated through to the next after a 1-0 win against Stade Manji of Gabon at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abuja. Hagai Kato netted the winning goal for the home team in the 63rd minute. Fidelis Elechiku's side won the tie 3-2 on aggregate. The Jazz Club will do battle with Tunisia's Esperance in the next round. Still in sports, Chelsea are close to appointing Christian Freyond as their new sporting director. According to several reports, Freyond is set to quit Austrian Bundesliga club Red Bull Salzburg for Stamford Bridge. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano is reporting the Blues are close to hiring Freyond after agreeing personal terms with the Austrian. Salzburg has been informed of the agreement, and next Chelsea have to finalize a compensation package with the club to secure Freyond's arrival. Chelsea have also been linked with the move for Paris Saint-Germain advisor Luis Campos and reportedly offered him €135,000 a week. It seems they have found their man in Freyond, who gave Erling Haaland his first shot at the big time when he signed him at Salzburg. And that's all we have in sports updates for today. I'm Omukoso Mohammed. Thanks for watching. To have a nice day. Keep watching Standard Voice Television.
Thank you, Omukoso. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a recap of the major headlines. President Muhammad Buhari attends 77 United Nations General Assembly. NDLEA arrest ex-convict, intercept 18 guns. Zamfara State Governor urges his colleagues to checkmate the excesses of Amotekun operatives. On business, Nigeria Employees Consultative Association raises alarm over businesses' total collapse. Another international scene, security scare hits morning as King Charles meet foreign leaders. And in sport, Rivers and Plateau United advance to next round. That's the news. Thanks for watching. I'm Fawzi Ibrahim. You have a nice day.